Hi folks, I'm Eric Siegel, and today we're going to be checking out the EDC 1991 Professional Survival Kit. I got this on Amazon for about $8. It's offered in 5 different colors. This one's called Desert. Now, the package itself doesn't have a lot of branding on it. Right here it says Paracord Fish and Fire Kit, and then down here it's got a fish and a fire and a knife, and it's got a little tag on the back, and that's it. So there's really not a lot on the outside of the package to identify who makes it. I have to assume it's probably just made in China somewhere. But let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got. So right here we've got a card that says Survival Kits, and it's got a list of the contents. And again, there is no branding on this card. Then we've got the kit itself, which is wrapped up in paracord. And then we've got a carabiner, which actually has the branding EDC 1991 on it. So this is what is known as a grenade type survival kit, because you've got a survival kit enclosed in a case of paracord, and then on top you've got this lanyard piece that kind of looks like the pin on a grenade. And the idea, of course, is that when you open the kit you have to undo all this paracord, which of course leaves you with a valuable supply of cordage in a survival situation, which is always a good thing. So I think these are a very clever idea. I've actually got several of them, including one that actually looks like a grenade. I'll be reviewing that in the future. But I do think these have one major drawback, and that is that it's sort of a one-way thing. Once you open the kit, that means you have to undo all the paracord, and at that point, you don't have a kit anymore. You have a pile of stuff. And there's really no easy way to get the kit back together unless you happen to be an expert at braiding paracord, which I am not. And, you know, I don't like that, because when I get a survival kit, I like to inspect the contents to make sure everything's there, and also to replace or add some stuff to the kit that might not be there to make it better. But with this, of course, you can't do that, because once you open it up, it's done. So I actually bought 2 of these, one to destroy for this review and one to actually put on a pack or something like that and use if I ever have to. Now, when I've got this thing all opened up and I've shown you everything, I'm actually going to try to repackage it somehow. I'm thinking that it might fit into an Altoids tin. And so what we'll try to do is stuff everything into an Altoids tin and see if it fits. And if we're lucky, maybe there'll be some space left over, and we can even add some stuff to make it better. So let's start off with the card that has the contents on it. We've got tinder, aluminum foil, an eye knife, which forms that lanyard that's up on the top there, a needle, wire, a fire starter, weights, swivels, fishing hook, floats, fishing lines, and a knife, which looks like a scalpel. And then along with the survival kit, you've got this carabiner, which of course clips on like that, and then you can take that and clip it on whatever you want to. So that's nice. The last thing I want to show you before we dismantle this thing is that the reason I think all this stuff might fit into an Altoids tin once it's disassembled is that here's the Altoids tin, and then here's the kit. And as you can see, it fits right in. It doesn't quite want to close, but I think once we've got this thing disassembled, we might be able to coax all this stuff into here and have it close nice and tight, but we'll see. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this thing up. There are 2 ends down here. One there, and then one over here. Okay. And I have no idea how long it's going to take to open this thing up, but we'll find out. Okay, I barely got through that without my cat interrupting the scene, because once he saw the string flying everywhere, he went crazy. Anyway, I measured it out, and of each color of paracord, there's about 5 feet, so 10 feet total. Although I wouldn't consider it a 10-foot length of cord, because the 2 colors are just heat welded together, so they could snap apart with some serious tension. So it's basically 2 5-foot lengths of cord, which is not bad. Alright, so now we have our 10 feet of paracord, we've got the eye knife here, and then we've got the kit itself. So with the little eye knife, they've got two blades. They've got a straight blade here and then a serrated blade right here. I've got a piece of scrap paper here, so let's test the little straight blade. I mean, it's not great. You're not going to win a sharpness contest with this thing, but it's okay. You know, it could get the job done in a survival situation. Might be better to sharpen it if you have the chance, but it's okay. It's a pretty thick piece of metal. It's not going to bend or break. So it's not bad. And then right here we've got the kit itself, which is wrapped up in tin foil, which of course is one of the items in the kit. So I want to make sure I don't tear the tin foil. And of course tin foil has a lot of different uses. You can use it to boil some water or cook some food. You can use it maybe for a signal mirror or something like that. And I'm already tearing the foil. So they probably could have done a better job of packaging this thing so that the foil is not something that could get torn. Okay, there we go. So here's the foil, and I've already got a couple of holes in it. So I'll have to replace this because you don't want holes in your foil. And it's about, maybe 6 by 7 inches, something like that. 6 by 6, something like that. Not too bad. And then we've got the contents of the kit here. So here is our fishing line with hooks, and it's kind of nice. The hooks are already tied onto the line, it looks like. So you don't have to do any knot tying. You can just start fishing right away. So we've got, looks like 2 lengths of line and 2 hooks. Then we've got our wire here, and you could use this for a snare or possibly to repair something if you needed to. And then we've got this little kit that has a few things in there, so let's open it up and see what's in there. So it all goes together. You've got 2 lines with 2 hooks, 2 floaters, 2 swivels, and 2 weights. Not bad. Then here's the other stuff you get. So right here, if I can pick it up, here we have a sewing needle. Then we've got our tinder, just a piece of cotton. Now the sewing needle, you know, I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with this because there's no thread, but I guess a needle is better than no needle, so it is what it is. Then we've got a fire steel, and I assume that you can use the eye knife here to strike it, so let's see how it does. Well, we might have to use the blade to do that. There we go. It's okay. Probably going to damage the blade a bit, but it's a survival situation, so that'll have to do. Then we've got what they call a knife, and it's actually just a scalpel blade. And then we've got 2 safety pins. And see, this is why I always like to open up survival kits and inspect them, because sometimes things are missing and other times there's things added that weren't listed, and these safety pins were not on the list, and yet here we have 2 safety pins. So that's a bonus. Now, I said a moment ago that I wasn't sure about this sewing needle because there's no sewing thread, but that's not entirely true. You could, if you had to, use the fishing line as a sort of sewing thread, or if you had time, you could probably separate the fibers in the paracord and use that as a sewing thread as well. So it's not completely useless. Plus, aside from the sewing function, it's just a needle, and a needle in a survival kit is always a good thing. Okay, I've got that stuff bagged up again, and I've replaced that piece of tin foil that had the holes in it with a new piece of foil that's actually a little larger. This one's about 12 inches by 11 inches. So now we're going to try to repackage this kit into this Altoids tin. So I've been experimenting with repacking the kit into the Altoids tin, and ultimately I decided to ditch half of the paracord that was supplied with the original kit. So we had 5 feet of beige cord and 5 feet of green cord. I'm getting rid of the green cord, and keeping this 5 feet of beige cord. And I'm doing that because it'll free up some valuable space in the tin for some more important items. And you'll notice that I tied this bunch of paracord together with a twisty tie, which is always a good thing to have in a survival kit. So anyway, we'll start off with the square of tinfoil, and this is the new square that I put together that's actually larger than the original. Then we're going to add in 2 Band-Aids. I always like to have those in a survival kit. Then we'll put our eye knife over here, and then our snare wire. And then I'm going to add in 2 water purification tabs. Each tab will purify 1 liter of water, so that is a valuable thing to have. And then we'll put the paracord on top of that. And then over here I'm going to put a button compass. Right there. Next I'm going to add a whistle. This is a Tops whistle that I had on hand. It's nice and flat. So we'll put that right there. Then I'm going to add in 2 of these miniature yellow glow sticks. You snap them and they glow yellow. We'll put these over here. Actually, I think they glow green, not yellow. Then, right here on this side, we'll put in a little bit of duct tape. And I made this roll. I just took a plastic dowel and wrapped duct tape around it. And it's a couple feet of duct tape. Then, right here, I'm going to put a little medicine bag that's got 2 ibuprofens and 2 Benadryls. Put those right there. Then we'll put our kit that has the fishing gear, the tinder, the fire steel, and the scalpel blade right there. Next, I'll add the fishing line and fishing hooks right here. And then finally, on top of everything, I'm going to put an antiseptic wipe just to have one more first aid item in there. And then we'll close it up. And there we go. And now, just to help it stay closed and also to add one more item to the kit, I'm going to wrap this black Ranger band around the kit. Get it nice and centered up. Like that. So if we check out a comparison between what was in the kit originally and what's in there now, you can see that when we opened the kit and had to recycle it into the Altoids tin, we made it into a much more comprehensive and useful kit. And the only victims were half the paracord and this carabiner. I think that was a good trade-off. You know, the perfect survival kit will cover the 4 key items: food, fire, water, and shelter. The original kit, as it was, covered the potential of food with the fishing kit and fire, but it didn't say much for shelter or water. Well, with the new kit, we've added some useful items, including the water purification pills. So now this kit can cover food, water, and fire, which makes it way better than it was before. So there you have it. We started off with one of these grenade-type survival kits that contained some pretty good fishing and fire gear. We opened up the kit for the review, which of course ruined the kit, and so we recycled the contents and augmented the contents into this improved Altoid survival tin that we have here. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you think I should have left some stuff out or added some different stuff, let me know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm Eric Siegel, and I'll see you next time. But we've got tinder, aluminum foil, an eye knife, a needle, a cat making noise. It's a little tight when we close it. It doesn't want to close quite. But I think once we've got this thing disassembled... Hey, Jesse.